Aye. All right, welcome everybody to the October 27th, 2025 council meeting. As always, we just like to start off by acknowledging we're gathering tonight on Treaty 5 territory. That's the ancestral lands of our friends, El Pasco Cree Nation, as well as many other Indigenous and the Red River Métis people, their homeland. So with that, I'll call the meeting to order. Looking at the attendance, everybody's in attendance tonight, so somebody should have a resolution to adopt the agenda.
Myself, second by Councillor Allen. Well, that the agenda be adopted as presented. In addition,
I had one alteration also.
Okay.
In speaking with the CAO, there was one item that was put in camera that doesn't necessarily have to be in camera. It was forgotten that the original information was public information, therefore it doesn't really qualify under personnel. Because everything was revealed in the last meeting. That was regarding issue number 1452, which is like a committee of the whole instead of in camera.
I think though that any further information that's discussed on an employee should be, should remain in camera.
I would like to support Councillor Manage and have that removed from in camera. It's the person is an employee, but the subject matter is not about employment. It's about the request to the town. I don't think it'd be in camera if it was an individual outside of the town making this exact same request, so it should be covered.
I would disagree with yourself and Councillor Manning. Just so we know where the conversation will go in this, and it could put our valued employee in a negative light. Somebody doesn't know all of the details. So if it's an employee, if it's an employee, I would say it should stay in camera.
Anybody else?
Either at in front of.
Yeah, I also, I agree that it came out, but maybe an error. I would agree that it probably should go to in camera for the discussion. Any decision that's going to come out of that should be in public.
Just further from me, at the end of the day, any resolution can be brought forward by any individual, first and second, or to put forward any kind of a request.
Yeah.
So that can be done in regular meeting at any time.
So, we'll need to, are you gonna put forward okay, let's see how we do this. Are you gonna put something formal forward to request that, and then we'll vote on that amendment, and then?
No, all I was asking is to move it into committee of the whole. If the vote is no, then it can remain in camera, and any resolution that comes out of it will become.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
So no need to change it, just I said, because the information was originally public notice, and I think there was just some misinformation, I guess, or forgetting that the name was revealed.
Yeah,
in the first issue sheet. Therefore, there was nothing to conceal the second time. That's all.
Okay, so we're not amending the resolution as to resolve as to resolve that the agenda be adopted as presented. Call the question, all in favor? Just keep your hands up so I can count, so I got. So
I'll just say this.
who's in favor?
We'll just say.
Everybody? Okay. Nobody against? Carry. Okay, resolution, or we should have confirmation of the minutes.
Resolution number 2025-191, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Atkinson, resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting of October 14 be hereby approved, all statutory declarations having been complied with.
Sorry.
Any comments, questions regarding the minutes? Seeing none, call the question, all in favor? Opposed, carried. Anybody got any recognition of all the great things that are happening in our community? Anybody got anything to share? Okay.
I can't remember what it was.
I've got one, maybe you remember by then. I'd like to recognize all the outlying council members and outside communities that attended linkages last week. It was very well attended. Very unfortunate that Town of Paul wasn't there, but it was good to see that the other people are interested in our areas and what's happening with the networking that linkages provides.
Yeah, it's unfortunate I was out of town, actually. I've attended every single one since then, and I have a follow-up meeting with Doug Lopestead on Friday. see if I missed
But it
anything.
was nice to see the interest in the north and in the
Yeah.
area from other outlying areas.
Yeah, no, it sure was.
I also sent my regrets. I threw my back out last Monday and had a terrible cold.
Wait, anything else? I mean, Linkage is a good organization. It's great that UCN supports that. Anybody else have anything? No? Okay. Citizens period, there's nobody here today. Did you have anything for recognition? Did you want to share? No? Sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you.
Sure.
Sure? Okay.
MDCI had a grad parent meeting and we have a safe grad executive in place. And we're currently deciding on a theme for it. The fire department is coming for fire prevention presentations. And we're still working with the Minnesota Family Resource Center to include Indigenous programming in our school. MBCI is also collabing with Kelsey School tomorrow night for a Halloween fun night. And this weekend, we're hosting junior varsity girls and boys volleyball zones.
Oh, nice.
And both our senior varsity teams are heading off to Brandon. The senior jazz band is also heading off to Thompson for Normand Jazz.
Okay. Awesome.
I have one more since Councillor Hopper may have forgotten, or maybe this is the one he was thinking of. But we always talk about how the high school athletics are doing. This time, middle school, actually grade 7 girls went up to Flin Flon and they won their first tournament ever. So that's
Oh, really? Yeah,
again, a great future for the high school, hopefully. I'm thinking maybe it was on Councillor Hopper's mind because his
What was it, basketball or volleyball?
Volleyball, yeah, and
Races, course.
yeah, so,
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
basketball.
no, well, Linnell's the assistant coach.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Great. Okay, so moving along here, we have 911 snow removal resolution.
Resolution number 2025-192, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Allen. Resolve the council authorize mayor to sign a snow removal agreement with the government of Manitoba as presented by the Minister of Infrastructure for a term to expire May 1, 2026.
So this is just our agreement has expired. We're renewing it. It was a great discussion. I think I heard, as I attended virtually, about making sure we spend the budget and let's clean the streets up as best we can. So I think that's good. Any other questions with that? Seeing none, call the question, all in favor? Opposed, none, carried. Okay. Property tax resolution, additions and deletions.
Resolution number 2025-193, moved by Councillor Randy Manage and seconded by Councillor Margaret Commodore. Whereas each year Assessment Services submits additions and deletions to the assessment roll, therefore it be resolved that council approve deletions in the amount of $1,961.97 and additions in the amount of $10,673.93 to the 2024 real property tax roll, deletions in the amount of $18,283.36 and additions in the amount of $17,385.06 to the 2025 real property tax roll as contained in a listing from Manitoba Municipal Relations as of October 9th, 2025.
Good. Any questions? So this is really about the assessment branch doing reviews and coming back to the municipality, making the appropriate adjustments on the tax rolls. So seeing no questions, call question, all in favor, opposed, carried. Payrolls and accounts.
Resolution number 2025-194, moved by Councillor Manage, seconded by Councillor Commodore, resolve that council authorize the following accounts. Pay period number 21 in the amount $127,940.81. General checks number 32908 to 32942 in the amount of $1,415,767.53. EFTs in the amount of $506,756.42.
Any questions with regards to the check registry, Councillor Hopper?
Just, I guess it's more of a comment. There was, one check payable to MR Funeral Home. I believe that was, in recognition of some headstones that were damaged over the winter because we didn't at the time have the proper equipment. And just to let the public know that if the town is very responsive, if we damage something, we replace it when it was repaired. So families are all made aware of, which headstones were damaged. It was minor amounts, but we'll get back to where they were supposed to be.
No, exactly. No, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Any other concerns or questions on the check registry? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Okay. Airport reports. Oh, sorry, no, a little jumping ahead. Mayor reports on the committee. Museum board, Councillor Commodore.
Hey, I wasn't able to attend the last meeting because that was the same evening as our council meeting, but I do have some notes on it. 20 people attended the Home Roots concert that they had last month. The next one is November 26th, but I don't have the name of it. We've hired an assistant curator. Okay, they had quite a few activities going. They had a ghost tour, and that was 60 people. They had, on culture days, they had 2 historic tours, and there was 15 attended for each. And the family fun day, they had 20 to 30 people doing that. And now they're preparing for future Trappers Festival exhibit, and they have a lot of items for that. If anybody has out there that's something that that people would like to see, by all means, bring it to them.
No, that's great. Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Manage, Chamber.
No meeting since the last report. Just a reminder though that Citizen of the Year and Business of the Year at the AGM on November 5th at 6 p.m. The Rendezvous Room at the West Canada. So it'd be great. Again, don't think of it as just Chamber of Commerce, but it's supporting local business and local citizens in the park. So if you can make it out, please register online. Tickets are free, so it gives you a night out and see what else is happening.
And I think at that night, we'll do a quick, I was invited to do a presentation on public safety. So I'm gonna take some of the feedback that we got from the event that we had and also throw a few more things into there and have I think they said I have 15 minutes. So we'll try to just get the conversation going on community safety. CDC, we have a meeting this week, Councillor.
1 o'clock.
Yep. Just quickly, I do have a note, so just a quick review. So on this storefront improvement project that was going on in partnership with the chamber, there's been 8 applications received to date. The total value of the improvements is around $90,000. And the grants that have been provided is around 10,000. So that's good news. I know we've been talking about Wood Acres, lots have been done. There's a plan also for Wolfwell subdivision, so that's underway. The Northern Lights Seniors Nonprofit Co-op, I know I've got a call while I was away regarding that, and they will be bringing something to council as we requested on what they need. What they needed from us and to move their project forward, because as we mentioned, we're gonna be roadblocks. The Clean Community Corps, they're still finalizing the boundaries, and there's a couple other things going on, so but there's a lot of progress happening, I guess. Anything to add on to that?
Just a note that Jonathan did mention that he has the final design for Devon Park rezoning footprint.
Yeah.
So hope that comes up at the next 3 of the whole for discussion.
Sure. Good.
We brought it to we're just waiting for the CDC compliments. Because cities has to be before the process.
Destination marketing,
I wasn't able to attend the last meeting because it started at 6:30 and tried to talk me into starting a little earlier because I get swamped with people at 6:30 for my pool. I work by myself, so I'm waiting on getting the minutes from them to bring up an update.
Cedar Lake,
Don't meet until December.
recycling board. Yeah, we didn't meet, there was, they just didn't meet on.
No, I do have though, not Cedar Lake and not for recycling, but we did host here, last Wednesday. Bola came and helped and, Captain Connors came and assisted as well as Sam. And we hosted the Cubs here. They wanted to have a civics tour and sit down and talk about civics and how everything works. And they were a really, really good group of kids that came. That was last Wednesday evening. And they also had a tour of the fire hall as well.
Good recognition. Library board,
No meeting has been scheduled.
KSD committees, nothing going on there. And then, we're waiting for them, right?
We're waiting for them.
Youth council or anything else? No. Perfect. Yeah. You can just put my paper away so I don't bring it home and I'll have it the next time. Any other comments from mayor and council? I do have one thing that I wanted to just bring up as a report. There's the Hudson Bay Road Association AGM in Thompson on November 12th. It starts at 7 p.m. at night. And it ends on the 13th on Thursday at 4:30. I would like to attend, but if somebody else wants to attend, they can feel free. I think it's important for us to be there. We just got the invite, so I'm just looking for approval to drive up in the afternoon and drive back after the meeting. One night hotel. That's cool? Yeah. Everybody's okay with that? Okay. And then as I mentioned, we do have the chamber, and I've mentioned to, as council manager mentioned, would really encourage everybody to attend from council. Okay, moving along to quarterly airport report, anything to add or needed on that, Bola?
Yes, this is a quarter, and Trevor's supposed to be here for some technical reason.
Okay,
So this is a quarterly report by them, and I met with their representative and he explained his view to me. So I just needed to share this with us,
Yeah.
that's an update that we have. They will get in the last one, I mean, early next year.
I like the no actions outstanding that are critical, so that's good.
Very thorough report.
Yeah. Under unfinished business, anybody have any questions? I have a couple of comments on that.
I do have it.
You have something?
Yes, I have a question. So for the any items that has been completed, should I remove it or should I leave them there? You see-
I would remove it if it's been done after one meeting. We could have a completed item list. It's not always nice to keep track of that for yourself, to pat yourself at the back in the back at the end of the year.
Okay.
I had a couple of questions on these business.
Yep.
Just, one was on the arena at the Midbar. 2 to 3 weeks away, it said in the report.
Yes,
From what date?
I had a meeting with a maintenance director last week. And that was when he gave me that update of 2 to 3 weeks. They're just tracking it. They are sending it down, so they're just tracking.
Okay, and the pool.
Yes, that is a big one. So that, yeah,
The suite that's.
Yeah, that's what it says.
this week,
27.
It says the 27th.
We have the 27th.
people, okay, that's that one. I think I gave an update on that. That
Yeah.
was-
Yeah, you did, but it's just saying it's going on this week. It's still going on this week.
Yeah,
I don't have access to this, I don't know.
No, they're not here, so.
But I have an update for who the humidifier on my presentation tomorrow.
Okay. And one question they put on personnel under legal matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then I did, so I know that they're working on those hand railings, some sort of hand railing. I did actually take a picture of an arena that had similar seating. I'll send it to you, Bola.
Okay.
And it seems like it's an easy fix and not that expensive to build. I think that's what they probably do anyways, but. Anything else from anybody on that? I did have a couple of things, so. Oh, sorry, Councilor.
Using all your time here.
No,
Unfinished business, septic tank.
Yes, I put it there, yes, I called in again, this is my third time. And he promised me that he's going to do something last week. And I did ask Shona. And
what's the subject, what's the issue with the subject?
the issue is the payment period,
Oh,
which the council raised last time. So I've been trying to make sure that he give us the interest on time. So that I'll be able to make sure that we make sure, make the payment.
Wasn't sure to set septic tank, I was wondering,
Yeah.
didn't catch what that was. Okay, good, thanks.
One of the things I wouldn't mind, making sure it gets on the list, Bola is that, tax incremented financing. Make sure that we don't lose track of that. I know that you've reached out and waiting for information. And the other thing I would like to add to the list is, I would, if council agrees, I would like to see a strategic plan review, done, within the next, 6 weeks sort of things. I think it should be a separate meeting. We're 2 years into that strategic plan and, we're in our final year of council and I think council needs to decide what they really want to focus on. If there was something important that might not be done yet, before the term is up. So if we could, if you could just put that, if council agrees, we could just put that on and we could have after a meeting separately just on that, if that's possible.
Agreed.
Okay, there's no other questions around unfinished business. Everybody looked at the RCMP stats. I don't know if there's anything really to highlight there. It's looking pretty regular. Vacancies 5 plus 3 soft ones. And, there's some decreases, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not anything specific other than anything significant. I mean, I know our RCMP officers are doing everything they can to keep our community safe. Any questions with that? No. Nobody else here for citizens period, so we'll move ourselves into the committee of the whole.
Resolved that we can now move ourselves, excuse me, into the committee of the whole with Mayor Murphy in the chair to discuss matters requiring our attention.
Okay, Comair Airport lease, so on renewal, so 5% increase this year, 2.5 through the next 4 years. So I'm okay with it. Anybody else has any questions of whatever administration's suggesting? I'm cool with. Seems fair. I mean, I'd like to charge them 100% more, but I don't think I'll probably go for it. It might move. Yeah, I mean, one of the challenges we have within our, with Comair, I mean, and it's a huge impact on business. And I know the chamber is probably likely all over this as well, as just the flight schedule. The flight schedule is really not very, supportive of business. And if you look at it closely, we really need 2 flights a day into the community. Not one on one day and one in the evening the next day. So something that I know the chamber likely and the CDC are continuing to talk about. Date for capital projects presentation. As I mentioned, Bola, in my email, we have a recycling meeting on November the 17th. So I would only ask council if we could reschedule that meeting to 6 PM instead of 5 PM so we can actually have a recycling meeting. The 10th I'm fine with, but we do need to meet. We schedule every third third, Monday of the month, and we need to meet because we didn't meet last week. If that's okay with council.
You're
Everybody's
so hopeful with only a 1 hour meeting.
It's been, I'll be done in an hour, we'll have to be done, I mean. We'll just make sure maybe we can start a little bit early for our recycling meeting, I just would hate to miss the whole date again. Okay, so, Councilor Manch, your issue sheet there on harm reduction.
Yeah, obviously this is, a few times I've brought this up, and I think it is on our to-do list or our uncompleted items. I think we're at a stage now where we need to hear what is happening. I think our safety summit that we did have last month opened a little bit of that conversation as well, and it was good discussion. But we need to hear from the managers and directors that are involved to say, what are your plans? How are you applying harm reduction to us as a community as a whole, not just those that are using the service or what it's mandated as. So that's all my issue sheet is really asking, is to put it on the forefront again and hopefully invite those managers or directors to come and hopefully
Yeah, it's a good
devise
idea.
some plans.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, we could do that. Just as a note though, is remember. So remember, we've been at the provincial government, Larry will remember, or the councillor. Forster will remember, we were actually, we were in our last term, advocating to do something around this as well. And I agree, I think it's getting somebody else to the table. But we really will have to really consider our approach because it doesn't seem to be working very well when it comes to just having the conversation with the Minister of Health, Minister of Families. We did co-sponsor a resolution at AMM and which remember, we did have a press conference with CTV and, all the news. And so we've got it on the map, with that. I know it's part of the Northern Caucus as well. And, so from that, and I'm just trying to put some background here so people know that the council isn't just, this isn't the first time we're trying to get to the table on this thing. But we have, from that resolution that drove that program from the Minister of Health issued each of the regions a mandate, to the health boards or whatever you call them, or the regions to do something about, community safety with regards to, sharps and harm reduction supplies. And so one of the things is, so the mayors in the north are meeting, we're supposed to be meeting again this week. But I continue to bring that same message as Councillor Manich has brought there is that, we're not responsible for that. And we don't like what's going on and why can't we do it differently? And, there's all sorts of reasons why and technical literature, but also at the same time, we need an education portion out there for people to understand what the real hazards are around that and why we even do it in the first place. So, but I do agree, let's just get them to the table here and invite. So when we talk about who are we inviting harm reduction would be Krista Tooley, that Play It Safe Network.
Yeah.
And so we should probably, I would suggest that we invite public health as well, because they distribute most of the sharps. And I think those are the two organizations that we'd be asking them to come and meet with council. Yeah.
The last time when they came, they brought their entire team when they came.
Oh, whoever they can bring, whoever they want.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought an entire team last, I don't know, like 4 years ago.
And I think rather than it just being an invite for a discussion, as the title of my issue sheet is, methodology of harm reduction strategies and fall.
Yeah.
Give them that question.
Yeah.
So they come prepared to not just have that continue running, because we are at that point now where at the end of the day, the ministers, the directors, the managers, they're responsible for the harm reduction picture. At the end of the day, their responsibility isn't what's gonna happen to the town of Paw, it's what's gonna happen to those using those items. We need to take a better stance as looking after the safety of the community.
Yeah, and
It's,
we really need to understand what that risk is, so I agree, this, we can just send them, and that's the sort of the topic, the purpose of the meetings, to understand the methodologies. As Councillor Manich has outlined very well.
not even just understanding it, but saying, how are you now?
Oh, no, yeah, well, I mean, when I say understanding, they're gonna tell us what it is, what we need to, yeah.
They can tell us what they do and why they do it, which I think we all understand why, and I'm not against that at all. And that's why I describe it as methodology. What we're doing isn't good enough for our community.
What's the action going forward?
What are we doing to make it better, or what strategic, they were reaching, as you mentioned, each RHA was given $30,000 to come up with ideas and better methodology. Let's hear what that is.
Well, I'm on that board and I have given updates here on that. And so remember, one of the things they're talking about, which I know our council, I'm speaking for council, I'm hoping, doesn't support, is we're not putting needle collection items on our main street downtown. That's not what we're on board for. And the last meeting that we had, I also shared with the concerns with that if we're going to place collection places, so there's certain areas in town that are asking for bins. And so businesses, but they're asking also the town chip in to help manage that work. And I think I'm speaking for council's direction is that we're not really on board for that. We're not gonna take that on. But I think what we need to understand that picture is, as Councilor Manich said, is, so we believe there's a hazard with the activities that this program is running within our community. And what are the things that are happening to reduce the risk to our citizens? And how do our citizens really understand what the risks are? So, you know, I think that I believe that there might be a misunderstanding of how risky it is or not, and people just don't know. And so we need to get that here. So that would be, I agree with you 100%. Okay, so that's good. I don't see anything else.
We have Trevor here, came late.
Too late.
Oh, good. Well, I appreciate your patience and I'm sorry for the late, my tardiness.
Good, Trevor. Good. Thanks for joining us. We did skip over your report. The few comments that were made was great that there's no real critical actions and very detailed, well put together report. So we appreciate that. Is there any highlights you want to share with us or any lowlights or any support you need from council?
We will have some issue sheets coming in the next few months. We've been working through, we're trying to get our pump house fixed out by the lake that brings us water to the airport. It needs a new roof. It was budgeted for, but there is some interior damage with mold in it.
Okay.
So yeah, don't be surprised when you guys see that come across. We're still working with Transport Canada, hoping to get some of the airport capital assistance program money from them, so that, you know, we don't have to put out of our own pocket. And then we're also looking at some of the Manitoba Hydro possibilities or Efficiency Manitoba possibilities for the terminal building and our hangars, with looks at, for lighting, possibly doors and windows. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of investigating going on. We did have a retirement at our airport, so we are currently in the recruitment phase. The job posting is out and should be closing very shortly, and we've had a couple applicants.
Oh, great. Hey, Trevor, I have one question and then I'll open it up to council. During the evacuation of northern Manitoba, we were using our hangar, and I did notice, and I spoke to the guys and they shared with me the damage to the hangar roof. Have we put in a request to repair that, or has it been repaired?
No, so that's part of the pump house roof as well that's getting repaired.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the I believe it's the flashing. It's just the
Yeah.
edge. It's a little banged up, but yeah, the same individual will look at the flashing as well and give us a quote to repair it. Just to note, this is our third person we've talked to about getting repairs done. It seems like every time we get a commitment, people walk away. It's kind of like the paving. So I can appreciate some of the struggles that you guys go through getting contractors.
Okay, no, perfect. No, it's again, we just want to make sure we're maintaining that asset. It's a great thing to have. And if we don't take care of it, it'll cost us a lot more money down the road.
Yeah, and it's full right now. It's full with winter parking of campers and boats, and so it's generating revenue right now.
So where does that revenue land on an income statement or whatever, a balance sheet, or your financial sheet.
So that would come up in our monthly financial report, that Laura would
And
usually
there's a
see.
line item on there for that?
Yeah, there's a line item within our budget of how much we put in for revenue that will generate
Okay.
per year.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anything else for Trevor?
Not from me.
Thanks for joining us, Trevor. Appreciate all the hard work all your fellows do out there. We did have a conversation earlier that we need to see 2 flights a day from Comair, or we need a different airline, and where we need to expand the business out there somehow to make it earn more money. But also to be able to service our community with businesses, the business community.
Yeah, no, and I can't agree more with you. And we just signed a 5-year lease agreement. I think we presented to you some numbers
Yeah.
for a 5-year lease for Comair. But I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'll talk to Bola in the next couple of days here about what the possibility is of looking at different airlines. With Comair has the whole branch of families under EIC. So Bearskin, Comair, Perimeter, they're all one. So you
Yeah.
have one, you have them all, right? So I don't see them competing with each other, but we do have some interprovincial or some, Saskatchewan airlines such as Rise Air that may be servicing Thompson and that soon. And then you also have, I was going to say Wasaya, but North Star
Yeah.
operating out of Thompson. So, knocking on their doors and see what appetite they may have coming to our community to help out with giving us more frequency.
Yeah, I mean, we need to encourage Comair to actually put more flights in, but at the same time, we just can't not go by that. There's also the airline flying out of Churchill doing the same thing, right? There's a local one.
And seeing as Comair is our main tenant, I wouldn't want to bring too heavy a competition to put them out of business.
No,
Maybe one of their subsidiaries would come in and we could give them a better deal under the same umbrella. So rather than a full cost for another setup. Must be some way you can work, hang a carrot out there for them.
yeah.
Every second landing will be no landing fees or something.
Yeah. No, it sounds good, Trevor. Look forward to further discussions. Appreciate your time tonight.
Okay, thank you for your patience again. I'm sorry for being late.
No, no worries, bud. We're just teasing you.
You can go back to the ballgame.
Okay, thank you.
It's not on yet, is it?
No, yeah.
Yeah, 6:30.
Okay. So with that said, there's no further people here for citizens, so we can move ourselves into in camera.
Resolve that we now move ourselves into the camera portion of Committee of the Whole with Mayor Murphy and the chair to discuss matters requiring our attention.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Good offense.